Hey everybody, my name is Sirax Gaming and welcome back to another episode of the Kombat Codex, the series where I break down 10 or 5 behind the scenes and lore facts about characters in Mortal Kombat 1. Today's episode is going to be about the former God of Thunder himself and the current Kid Thunder, I guess, Raiden, who has appeared in pretty much every Mortal Kombat game so far, aside from a handful, and does return in the latest Mortal Kombat with the most changes of pretty much any returning character. So, without any further ado, let's break down these 10 behind the scenes and lore facts about Raiden that you probably didn't know. Fact number 1. I usually like to begin these videos with a more obvious on the nose fact, so I'm going to ease into Raiden. Raiden, as we know him in the first 2 timelines, is the God of Thunder and protector of Earthrealm. He's kind of like Thor, except instead of Asgard, he has Earthrealm. And instead of Mjolnir, he has fatality powers where he zaps a hole through your chest using lightning. Raiden is inspired by another God of Thunder, however, instead of Thor, the Japanese thunder god Raiden, who can also occasionally be referred to as Lord Raiden, just like our beloved God of Thunder. Fact number 2. Raiden's story has evolved dramatically over the years, like many characters in the series. However, the first time we are introduced to Raiden, he is much different to his current incarnations. Raiden is introduced in the first Mortal Kombat released in 1992, but this Raiden was not the protector of Earthrealm nor a guide and mentor to Liu Kang and the heroes. Raiden is still a thunder god here, but he's more of a neutral god who was invited to the tournament by Shang Tsung and takes the form of a mortal to compete in the tournament. Raiden is a lot more cold here, less like a Mortal Kombat god and more like a God of War god, and his ending involves him battling more gods until Raiden and the other gods' battle would destroy our world. Have a nice day. Moving on to fact number 3. Raiden has appeared as a guest character more than once. His most notable guest appearance was in the Injustice 2 game made by NRS, where he was added as a part of the second DLC pack with a new design designed by Jim Lee, and his Mortal Kombat X moveset adjusted to fit Injustice 2's playstyle. Raiden crossed over into another series much earlier, however, as he was a secret character in Unreal Championship 2 in his Deadly Alliance outfit. The game is pretty weird from what I watched on YouTube, but it's kind of like a third-person hero shooter where you can play as Raiden. Raiden also appears in Broforce, the 2D platforming and shooting game, as Broden, the Bro of Thunder. Fact number 4. One of Raiden's most iconic appearances is Dark Raiden, the harsher take on the Thunder God from Deception onwards. However, Raiden was not intended to be in that game, as Fujin would replace him after he dies during the opening cutscene. This decision would be abandoned as fans demanded Raiden return, and he did, as Dark Raiden this time. This version of Raiden would do whatever is necessary to defend Earthrealm, even aligning himself with the forces of darkness in Armageddon, striking a deal with the likes of Shao Kahn and Onaga before the final battle. Moving on to fact number 5, and continuing from our previous fact. After the final battle, Dark Raiden and Shao Kahn would be the only confirmed survivors, with Shao Kahn defeating Taven and obtaining Blaze's essence, assuming that Taven's Armageddon ending is the canon one. Dark Raiden would be killed, but not before sending a message back in time to his past self, saying only the cryptic, "He must win." This brings us into Mortal Kombat 9, where Raiden is the primary protagonist. Raiden would greatly misinterpret this message, and everything that could possibly go wrong does, and almost all of Earthrealm's heroes would die in the ensuing invasion. But Raiden would succeed in stopping Shao Kahn, although barely. Moving on to fact number 6. Raiden was one of the first characters revealed and promoted for Mortal Kombat X, giving us a look at the new variation system and early development looks at Raiden during his trailer. During the trailer, Raiden would perform his X-Ray, which involved him roundhouse kicking Kotal Khan, blowing up his stomach with a thunder cookie, and then electrocuting him from the back. This X-Ray would never make it into the game, however, as not long after we would see an updated X-Ray for Raiden, in which he does pretty much an Injustice super move, where he kicks your ass up into a storm in the clouds above and just absolutely wrecks you. Not a whole lot of bone breaking, just a whole lot of electrocution. Raiden's X-Ray in Mortal Kombat X also does the least amount of damage of pretty much all the X-rays alongside Sub-Zero and reptiles, dealing only 31%, compared to the standard roughly 33 and up. Number 7. Raiden's nephew, not confirmed. I'm just being funny, this has never been mentioned ever. But Raiden's nephew, Kid Thunder, appears in a couple games featured as Raiden's friendship. First in Mortal Kombat 2, Raiden would summon the adorable little guy dressed up as Raiden and they'd pose together. Raiden would team up with the little Thunder God once again in Mortal Kombat 11 to show off their dance skills, switching on the neon bodysuits and busting a move together in unison. Moving on to fact number 8. Raiden is a god, which means he is immortal and operates outside the rules of time. We learn a bit about this in Mortal Kombat 9 when Armageddon Dark Raiden sends a message back in time and MK9 Raiden can interpret this to, be able to change the timeline. But we explore time travel a bit further in Mortal Kombat 11, with Kronika bringing MK9 Raiden forward in time, causing Dark Raiden, the MK11 version, to completely cease to exist, which totally abandoned the storyline they set up from Mortal Kombat X. Maybe I'll make a video about this one day, but it still pisses me off that they did the whole post-credit scene, they set up Dark Raiden. Dark Raiden even has a little bit of a crazy streak at the beginning of MK11, and then he's gone about 25 minutes into the story. It's crazy. Raiden would sacrifice his immortality to Liu Kang at the end of that game, and resign himself to a mortal fate and die of old age when the time came. Moving on to fact number 9. Raiden would be reincarnated as a mortal in MK1, living his life on a farm in a friendly village until he is gifted thunder powers by Liu Kang and the Elder Gods, and would become the Mortal Kombat champion of this timeline. We would see God Raiden again, however, in the final chapters of the story when Titan Raiden, from a timeline where he destroys Kronika, arrives to assist. This Raiden, according to his MK11 ending, has a lot of trouble controlling the hourglass, as we learn in his ending that he chooses pure logic over emotion to control the realms. However, this would prove fruitless, as without his compassion or emotion, he was unable to create a successful timeline. He gets a mini character arc in this ending where he learns that emotion is, must be factored into the equation, blah blah blah, but Raiden was never super emotionally mature in the older timelines. It's kind of his weak point. Moving on to fact number 10. Our final fact of the day, Raiden appears in several multimedia projects outside of the games. He is prevalent in the comics, both classic and MKX. He's also a primary character in the animated movies Scorpion's Revenge and Battle of the Realms, the latter of which he is immortal once again, played by Dave B. Mitchell, and the Defenders of the Realm cartoon, played by Clancy Brown. Raiden also appears in MK Conquest, played by Jeffrey Meek, and in the web series, played by Ryan Robbins. And it gets a bit weird in that show for Raiden. They made some decisions storyline-wise. Finally, he was played iconically in the 1995 movie by Christopher Lambert, and was recast for Annihilation as James Remar. Finally, Raiden appears in the 2021 film and its upcoming sequel, played by Tadanobu Asano, although little information is known at the moment on the sequel. Thanks guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know down below your thoughts on these Raiden facts. Let me know something down below about Raiden that I don't know. And if you have any suggestions for the next video, also let me know about that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, peace out.